What's up? This is Richie from the Where We Wild YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about everything that you need to get to start fishing. Bass fishing especially. That's been my passion pretty much my entire life. I've been bass fishing since I was about 3 years old, I think, so I've been doing it a long time. I've acquired a lot of knowledge on the subject, so I just wanted to help anyone out who's looking to get into it. It's an amazing hobby, it's an amazing lifestyle, it's an amazing passion, but there's a lot to it. It can be very overwhelming. So in this video, we're just gonna go over everything that you're gonna need to get right off the bat to get you out there and get you fishing, from rods to reels to line to bait to a bunch of other little odds and ends that you're gonna need to get out there. It's a little overwhelming, there's a lot to cover, but we're gonna condense it down, bare bones, just to get you the bare essentials of what you're gonna need to get going and get catching fish. So let's get into it, man. All right, so what do you need to get going here? What do you need to start fishing? The bare basic essentials without overcomplicating it. First and foremost, you're gonna need a rod and a reel. Now, when it comes to rods and reels, we could go crazy here and talk for 5 hours about all the different kinds of rods and reels, actions, powers, lengths, you know, casting rods, spinning rods, like it's out of control. And the more you get into fishing, the more you're gonna realize how specific things can be and technique specific things can be. But to get you going, just to start off, there's one very important rod that you're gonna need to purchase first. It's probably the most important one you're gonna need to start out with, and it is a 7-foot to 7'2" medium power spinning rod. All right, now without overcomplicating it, the power of the rods are, you know, how much power does it have before it starts bending? From ultra light to medium light to medium heavy to extra heavy, like it's insane, dude. But you want to go right in the middle of the road there with a medium power. That's pretty much just going to cover all your basic bass fishing. A lot of soft plastic baits, pretty much anything. You can pretty much throw anything. It's not going to be perfect at it, but it'll do it. So that is the most important rod you're going to have to get. I actually took one out here. That's a great little budget option here. I think this rod, see, now here's the other thing too. You can run to Walmart right now and spend $20, you know, on a rod and reel combo that comes with line on it and everything, and it'll get you out there. It's just not gonna be that great of quality, all right? You're not gonna have sensitivity at all. You're not gonna really feel the bites as well. It's not gonna last you as long. But everything that I'm gonna talk about here and link in the video description, I'll link everything, all kinds of ideas for you, every last little detail in the video description. Everything I talk about, with even options that I'm not gonna mention, will be in there. For any price range, any budget, they'll be in there for you, okay? Just go to the video description, click more, click down, you'll see all the links. It'll be organized perfect for you. But everything that I'm gonna link there is gonna be quality, okay? It's gonna last you a while. And that doesn't mean it's gonna be expensive. This rod right here caught the biggest fish of my life, okay? A 9.2 pound largemouth bass was caught on this. My PB, my personal best fish ever. That is one of my cheapest rods and reels. This rod is $50. That might sound expensive. I'm not sure what your budget is, but for fishing rods, it's very cheap, okay? For decent fishing rods, it's very cheap. So 50 bucks for the rod. This reel, I believe, was 60 bucks, maybe? But you can get them on sale. I think I got it for around 25 or 30 bucks. And I'll link it all in the video description. But for under $100, possibly under $80, maybe even less, you can find some quality stuff here, all right? So this is a great option here, and it's just a 7-foot medium power spinning rod with a spinning reel on it. Now, like the rods, the spinning reels come in sizes too, 500, 1,000, 2,500, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and like the medium rod is in the middle of the spectrum, the size 2,500 or the size 3,000 is in the middle of the spectrum as far as the reel goes. So you want it to match your rod and reel. You don't want to get a medium light to a medium rod and put a huge size 5,000 reel on it. It'll be like really wonky and not balanced. You want to try to balance it so it balances out in your hand. You know, the right reel and the right rod to have a nice little balance, okay? So I'll link it in the video description along with more expensive options, maybe some even cheaper options than this, but that's what you need to start. yeah, that's hopefully not overcomplicating it, but just short and sweet. Get yourself a 7-foot medium spinning rod and a size 2500 spinning reel. That's quality. Everything will be linked in the description for you. All right, so that's first and foremost rods and reels. All right, so you have your brand new rod and reel combo, but it's useless unless you put fishing line on it, right? So that's the next thing you're gonna have to grab is some fishing line. There's 3 types of fishing line: monofilament, fluorocarbon, and braided line. And without boring you to death and taking 5 hours to describe exactly what they are and what they do, I'm just gonna tell you that the one you're gonna wanna choose for your brand new spinning combo is braided line. It's the most sensitive, it doesn't have any stretch, it'll cast very well, it's great for the techniques that you're gonna wanna be using on this combo, so you're gonna go with braided line. Now, there's a few little tips and tricks about putting braided line on a spinning reel, and I have a video up on it you can check out. I'll link it at the end of this video or down in the video description. I will link that and it will show you exactly how to put braided line on your spinning reel. There's a few little knots involved that you're gonna have to learn, but once you do it a few times, it just becomes second nature and it's no big deal. Now, after the line, speaking of knots, you're gonna need to learn some, okay? There's only 3 knots that I use. My whole life in fishing, it's pretty much been only 3 or 4 knots. And the most important ones, I have a video on. There's 3 knots, it's gonna teach you those 3 knots. Once you learn them, you're gonna pretty much be able to do anything as far as fishing knots require. Okay, so check that video out too. That's pretty much just the easiest way to go about this. Instead of sitting here and be like, okay, I know I'm gonna teach you this knot. Just go check out these videos, how to put braided line on a spinning reel, how to tie those knots. That video, I'll link them for you. You're off to the races, man. So you got your rod, you got your reel, you got your line all strung up, ready to go. It's time to tie on a bait and fire it out there and try to catch a fish. Now, just like the rods and the reels and the lines, there's just so many options, man, when it comes to bait. And you know, some people like to use live bait, you know, live worms, live minnows, stuff like that. But real bass fishermen kind of pride themselves in using artificial baits, okay? The whole game to us is, you know, having the skill set and the techniques to trick a bass into thinking what you're throwing is real. That's what we all take pride in as bass fishermen. I mean, it's fun to just every once in a while tie on something live and just cast it out there, let it sit or whatever, and let that do the work for you. But the fun part is trying to make things that aren't alive look alive. That's the whole game, okay? Now, without going crazy here, we could talk for hours about all the different kinds of baits. But just to keep it really simple, I'm gonna link a few in the video description for you that are gonna match this new rod and reel combo perfect for you. You know, techniques that you may or may not have heard of, like the drop shot, for example. That is probably the first thing I would teach anybody how to throw, because it gets bit, man. And it's not that complicated to use and to tie on. I have a video, like all these other subjects, have a video how to rig up a drop shot. I'll link it in the video description for you. Check that out. That's gonna be very helpful for you. In fact, the whole Fishing for Beginners playlist on our channel, I would check out if I were you, and just kind of pick a title that interests you, whether it's how to tie the fishing knots or how to rig up a drop shot or whatever it is. Check those videos out. They'll be really helpful for you. But with this 7-foot spinning rod here, medium spinning rod, you're gonna be using a lot of soft plastic baits, stick baits like SENKOs and you know, drop shot baits, little Texas rig baits, Ned rigs, stuff like that that you may have not even heard of. But I'm just gonna link them all in the video description for you. And you know, the hook you're gonna need for it, every last little thing, I will organize it perfectly in the video description to explain exactly what you have to do. I have other videos where I'll explain all that stuff for you in that Fishing for Beginners playlist. And you can watch our actual fishing videos where you're seeing us actually catch fish. That might be helpful to you as well, to see the baits and stuff we're using and exactly showing you how slow we're working them or exactly what we're doing. That'll help get you some of the physical aspects of it down. But all the information will be linked in the description. It'll probably be a bunch of soft plastic baits. I'll link a couple hard baits too, but for the majority to start you off, you're gonna go with soft plastic baits. They get you bit the fastest, they're the cheapest. It's just a great way to get going. All right, the next thing you're gonna need here are tools. You're gonna need a few tools here. You're gonna need a pair of pliers and you're gonna need a pair of scissors, pretty much first and foremost here. All right, You're gonna need a plier to get the hooks out of the fish. You're gonna need scissors to cut your knots up and to cut your line as you're tying knots and tying new baits on. I'll link them in the video description for you. These things are like $4, man. They're probably the best fishing scissors I've ever had. But stuff like that, scissors, pliers, maybe a little tackle box to just throw in some of your stuff. I'll link it all in the video description for you. That's pretty much what this whole video is. It's just go to the video description and you'll find everything that you're gonna need perfectly organized. It'll be that simple. That's the easiest way we can go about this. All right, so now you're pretty much all set up, man. You have everything you're gonna need to go out there and start catching fish. The only thing you're gonna have to get before you do that is a fishing license. Very, very important. You don't want to get caught fishing without a fishing license. There are big fines involved and it's just not a good look, dude. So all you got to do is run online. You can go online, check out whatever state you live in. You know, I'm here in California, California fishing license. Boom, it'll bring up a website. You can buy whatever license you want. They have daily ones, annual ones, freshwater, saltwater. For the type of fishing that we're talking about, you're just going to need a basic freshwater fishing license. Probably be 50, 60 bucks maybe, something around that. Or if you're just looking to go for a weekend somewhere, you know, you can get a 1 day or a 3 day or whatever. But the deal is to get, every year we go and we get our annuals. Now you can do it online. You can go to any sporting goods shop, Walmart, some gas stations have them, just depending on where you live. But getting it online is very, very simple. So grab yourself a fishing license. Just make sure that you have that and have it in your wallet or your bag or whatever you take out fishing. If someone, a game warden approaches you and asks you for your license, there you go, of course, right here. Now, the last thing that you're gonna need here is a little respect, all right? You're gonna need a little respect for these fish. You're gonna need some respect and etiquette for the people who are fishing around you, for the environment you're in. I mean, this is about loving the outdoors, all right? It's about having respect for the environment that these fish are living in. You know, other animals, you're out in the wilderness, it's beautiful. You wanna keep it clean. You wanna pick up all your garbage. You wanna take care of these fish that you're catching. You'll see in all our videos, you know, how I release fish. Just put them down nice and slow, get them swimming off nice and easy. You never wanna throw them off, you know, into the water and be real rough with them. You want to take care of them. So there you go. That's pretty much everything you're going to need to get you going, get you out there, get you catching fish. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. Once again, definitely check out all those videos, how to put braided line on a spinning reel, how to rig up a drop shot, how to tie the knots, those three knots I was talking about. All those videos will be linked in the video description or at the end of this video for you to watch. I really hope this video helps you out and gets you hooked, man. It's an amazing passion to have. It's so fun. Bass fishing's the best, man. It's just the absolute best. That adrenaline, man, that's why we do it. It's there's really no better feeling in the world than catching your biggest PB largemouth, your personal best largemouth. That's the goal, and that's what we all fish for. So get out there and good luck. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're into this sort of thing, don't forget to hit subscribe. We put a new video out every single week. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Later. If you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to check out the rest of the Where We Wild YouTube channel, where we post a brand new video every week. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we post a new adventure. Thanks for watching. See ya.